Just give it a moment to see if anyone arrives. I can never tell who's here, to be honest, because the sometimes the watcher, the watch icon is here, sometimes it isn't, sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it isn't. So I'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll go from there. Ah, good, I'm glad, Mandy. I'm good, thank you. I'm good, I mustn't grumble. Apart from cold. But that's typically British of us, isn't it, to complain about the weather. But I don't know if I'm coming or going, to be honest. I did manage to get some clothes out on the line, which was nice. They dry whatever the temperature, don't they? It's just the rain that you've got to watch out for, or God forbid the snow, but we don't really get that here in London. But cold. I don't know whether to... And then you put the heating on and then it gets too hot. And then you struggle to cool down then. So. What time is it? 18:06. Either way, I shall use this video for YouTube anyway, so it won't be an entire waste if nobody arrives. That's me thinking out loud as well. So I'll be doing things a little bit differently this time. I took some advice from somebody. It was really obvious as well, because when I've seen people reveal new releases in the past, other brands, smaller, larger, they've all given samples. They've shown samples along with their new releases. So it was really obvious. I didn't do it last time. I whizzed through them and then it was goodbye, have a good evening. So this time I've made some samples. The design team have worked incredibly hard as well this week with what they have. Vicky, the complete sets all arrived yesterday. UPS said that they were dispatched, scheduled for delivery on Monday, and then I woke up to an email on Saturday morning saying that they've rescheduled it to yesterday. So the stamps are here, so tomorrow or Tuesday I'll be getting you and the other ladies out another set from the new release. Right, with that all said, I'm going to get started because I can't imagine anyone's going to get here now. So when I do a release, there has to be 4 designs, at least 4 designs, or it's done on an A3 spec. So it has to be made up of either A4, A4, or 4 A6s. Obviously, I'm not going to do an A4. I wouldn't even know how to fill an A4 sheet. Having said that, I have filled an A3 sheet previously, but I'd struggle to fill one of those again. Anyway, I've digressed. So I order in quantities of 4 designs. One of those was a restock. We had a sellout. Well, there's been a couple of sellouts, but I've restocked one of those designs. The Nike birthday sentiments is now back in stock, so if anyone was looking to get their hands on that, there's plenty of those in stock. And then so that leaves 3, and here we are. So they're all a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but let's go with oh, got a little sneak there. let's go with the sorry set. So these had been on the agenda. And the original plan was actually to get some dies to match the large word. But when I approached the manufacturer, they only supply them in quantities of a minimum of 100. I had no plans on ordering 100, so there is no dies to match these. There is no dies at Dunny Doodles yet, or for the foreseeable future. However, they are still fantastic stamps nonetheless, and still make up a card far easier than what I've done previously, where they were all just these smaller sentiments. So, hiya Scott. So we've got the large sorry, and then we've got some smaller sentiments to scatter around the sorry. So some will go as a prefix to the sorry and some will come afterwards. So I try to be, with some of them, a little bit alternative to what's already on the market, but then some people still want the traditional. Let me hold that up a little bit closer to the camera as well. There we go. In fact, I'm also going to turn this ring light off. I don't know if that's made a difference. What? No, that's too dark now. So I'm sorry, there is a glare. I'll try and hold it in a way where I can avoid the glare. There we go. So my favourite from this set would be There's No Good card for this. But then we've also got some classics such as I'm Here for You, There's Just No Words, You've Been Under the Weather, here as well. And then we've got things like Oops, Sorry. So Oops can go before the sorry, or sorry, Oops, and then you can add something else along with that. So I think this one, there's, I did count them up when I put them on the website, but I can't actually remember how many in there. But I've packed them in as I always try to do. So here's some of the samples that I made. Hiya, Karen. That's okay, Vicky. So here's some of the samples that I made. This one was taken using a print. I'm not going to focus too much on how I made the cards because we're here for the sentiments and the stamps. But I'll just give a brief outline of how I did the cards, just in case you may be inspired. So this one was done, this was alcohol inks, and the card, I used a piece of card to lift the alcohol inks, and this is the effect. I've mounted this onto some black and then onto an A6 top fold card. So this one is just the Sorry, There's No Good card for this, which, as I say, was my favourite from that set. Then we've got one which was using some pixie powders, or it might have been that or Pretty Gets Gritty. I'm not too sure, but I don't know if I move this around, you might be able to see some of the shimmer in there. So this one is, that was nice and simple, and this one is Sorry, Let Me Make It Up to You. And then the final one from this set was, I was inspired by someone from YouTube. I'm sure you've all heard of her if you craft. But Christine Stokes. If you haven't heard of her, then I recommend you go over and see if you can catch some of Christine Stokes' videos. But this is an effect that I got from Christine, whereby you take natural real flowers that I've dropped and you run them through your die cutting machine, through the plates, sandwiched between several pieces of paper. When they've dried, because you do get quite a lot of juice from the flowers, natural juices, when it's dried, just scrape it all off, and then you're left with the imprint of the natural flowers, which is some of the best crafting that I personally have ever done, and equally fantastic outcome. So I've stamped this one straight onto the flower background, and I've used the I Just Want to Say I'm Sorry on that one. So as opposed to these two where we've got sorry first this one I've put the sentiment before the sorry. So that's the first set that's being released. Right, got these all a bit mixed up. I'm just here off camera. Try not to show you anything before, just while I get my bum into gear, because I've mixed them up. There we go. Thank you, Karen. I suspect you might like what's coming, Karen. This might inspire you to craft. So this set, right, this one does have to come with a warning, I'm afraid. I do appreciate that Danny Doodles is very much narky, sarky, naughty, tongue-in-cheek, cheeky, all the rest of it. Then there's smutty and crude, and this is smutty and crude. Now, believe it or not, I edited this set several times and took out the worser of the sentiments. So what's left behind was the tamer of the sentiments, but still very much a different humour. So I fully appreciate that, yes, people that are a fan of Danny Doodles may like the other bits and pieces, but not so much the crude element of what goes on in this set. But there are some which are very tame, and there are some which are just a little bit narky. But then there are some which you may turn away from, which I fully respect that. So it was originally going to be a Valentine's set, but I didn't get it released in time for Valentine's. Not this set, actually, Karen. Oh yeah, this set. So yes, didn't get it released in time, so it did say Happy Valentine's Day, but I've changed it to I Love You, which is far more versatile anyway. Then we've got some of the naughtier sentiments, so just trying to hold that. Yep. So some of them are really quite naughty. Take them as you will. There are some tamer ones, so we've got things like here, you give me inappropriate thoughts. I'm just trying to hold that so that that blooming ring light, I don't want the ring light to, it's causing a terrible glare, but if I turn it off it's too dark. Then this one, which is really quite naughty, which you may like, Karen, the sentiment in there. But then there are some well-behaved ones. So sorry, there was just a really loud bang behind me. I don't know what it was. So yes, we've got I Love You, and then somewhere here, let's have a look. You got best, and then that naughty word there. And then, but you can cut that naughty word off when you're stamping. It doesn't have to be included. And then you've got, to go with it, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband. I try to think of all of the partner terminology. Girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, partner, fiance, male fiance, wife. So it doesn't have to be completely naughty. You're a this one or this one. And then there should be somewhere, but you're my, and then you just repeat that again as you know. So some of the samples that I did quite a few of these ones. So this one was using a heart cover plate. I used some pastel inks in the background, cut that out and accompanied it with the naughtiest probably out of the set. That is a very controversial word, but it's my brand and I've got the freedom to do what I want with it, so I went with it and I enjoyed it. So oh, I'm glad, Mandy. So that was that one. This one I hand painted in watercolour some hearts very loosely, then went round them with a fine liner pen, and then we've got the Let's Get Naked on there, which I think is just the beauty of these sets is no one else has to see what you're doing. You can keep it between you and your significant other. No one else has to know about it. Only I will know about it because I will see who's buying them. But no, seriously, it doesn't have to be cards that you advertise on social media or cards that you take to fairs if you do fairs. They don't have to be cards that are seen in the public eye or in the public domain. You can just buy this set, and on those significant occasions, gift a card made using this set to your special other person in your life, and no one else has to know about it. And come on, we all know that in public, we're all a little bit tamer, aren't we? You know, oh no, we mustn't say that. But behind closed doors, come on now, I know you're all a little bit I love you. I know we're all a little bit of this set behind closed doors. So, and then I went round that one with some Distress Oxide. This one is simply using a pretty piece of background paper. Here we go. Here's an example of a tamer card using that set. Best girlfriend ever, I love you. Simple. I love you. I willy love you. I think it's really fun. That was just done similarly to the previous, just using some decorative paper. Thank you, Scott. This one is one of the naughtier ones. It's done simply using cutting a heart aperture out of some red card, raising that on some 3D foam, and then finishing it with one of the naughtier sentiments from the set. And then we've got this one, which was actually made using the hearts which fell from this one. When it was cut through the machine, these are the hearts that fell from it, and it made 2 cards. So we've got this one, you give me, you can read the rest, and this one, which I'm sure many of us have used that term before or received that term before. Whether it's well received or not, that's a different question. But yeah, so that one's also from the set. Then this one, I really like the sentiment in this one. This is simply, I love you. Ooh, feelings. This one was using a heart cover plate, put onto some white card, put onto some black card, which was then stuck down onto an A6 card blank. The little black heart is also from the set. So we've got an outline heart, which you can colour yourself, and then we've got the little black. Just trying that. There we go. And then we've got the little black or little solid heart. So they can be used as you wish, along with some of the sentiments, or separately. And then, you've seen that one. So that's all of the samples from the Love set. And then the last set from this release will be, now this is going to be hit or miss as well, but this is Easter Maisie. Now this is based on our very own pet bundle of loveliness, Maisie the pug. We rescued Maisie 2 years ago. We're waiting for her to calm down, but she's actually got worse. She's a bundle of energy. But this one probably represents her better because she's always got that resting bee face. So the idea was that with this one, she's not too amused by the fact that she's been stuck in an Easter bunny costume. So that's where I was going with that. Then we've got Maisie in a cracked Easter egg, quite proud of herself there. And we've got Maisie in a little field of tulips, which is really nice if you can just extend on the tulips and have more tulips around her. And then we've got Maisie holding the biggest Easter egg, all to herself there. So we've got a few sentiments to go with them with this one. We've got have a pugtastic Easter. Then we've got have a cracking Easter. we've got Hoppy Easter, Happy Easter, and then we've got Excited for. There we go, Excited for Easter. I didn't get as many samples made with this one. In fact, this one wasn't really, this is nothing to do with Danny Doodles, this background, but I just wanted to show you how you can just use the sentiments with things that you already have in your stash. So this one is just the Happy Easter from the set, and that's on some embossed card, which I've swept some gilding polish over, and then I've put on some pearly card to give it a nice pearly border. So we've got this one, which is the Maisie sitting in the field of tulips with the nice rolling clouds in the background there, and I've accompanied that with the Have a Pugtastic Easter from the same set. Then we've got Maisie sitting in her Easter egg, very proud of herself with her tongue out, and that one goes really well with the Have a Cracking Easter. And then I've just coloured the background in some Distress Oxides. And then lastly, we have Maisie with the biggest egg of them all, and then either side of her I've just coloured some of these trio of eggs and put them around her, and I've accompanied that with Excited for Easter. And that's all I did here, was mask off the border and colour the middle there with Distress Oxides. So that is, thank you Karen, that is all the new release. I mean, I can ask if there's any questions, but I don't think anyone will have any questions. Thank you, Scott. So these are, I did have to put my prices up, unfortunately. Just, we're outside of the, you know, we're no longer a launch now, and a launch business, and the introductory price had to come to an end at some point, and sadly I had to raise the price from £11 per set to £12 per set, which is still a competitive price for many which are on the market. Yes, there are some which are cheaper, but what you have to account for is that I'm a smaller business and I have to order in smaller quantities, and as such the prices are higher. And so I'd love to reduce those prices for you, and if I was able to order in larger quantities, I could reduce those prices. So if you encourage people to buy, invite your friends and family to buy. Oh, thank you, Mandy, so much. Then I can lower the prices for you, all right? So there's something in it for you as well. So yes, they're already on the website, but they're not going live until 9 AM tomorrow. There is a bundle price, which I believe is £32, which then triggers the free postage at checkout as well. I don't know if I said £33 there. £32. But yeah, £32, that triggers the free postage, and you get all 3 sets of the new release, yeah, at a discounted rate. I don't think I have anything else to say on it. So I will pop this video over on YouTube, so if you want to have a closer look, by all means, it will be over there imminently. Otherwise, they will be up on the website tomorrow to purchase at 9 AM tomorrow morning, and you can pop on over and have a closer look then. I wasn't able to put the graphics of the sentiments on there. I took photos of each set, but I wasn't able to put the graphics, as I call them. It wouldn't allow me to import PDFs, so sadly that's not on there this time. However, hopefully the pictures are sufficient enough for you to be able to see each stamp in the set with enough detail. Certainly enough to give you enough information to make an informed decision on as to whether or not you wish to purchase them prior to purchasing them. Right, that is it. I will love you and leave you. I don't know what the time is. It's not very not very late at all, so I haven't kept you for very long. I won't be doing a live tomorrow because I've done this one instead, so I will see you again next Monday at 6 o'clock, usual place, Danny Doodle's Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining and your nice feedback on these stamps. And I hope to see you all again soon. Take care and have a wonderful evening. Bye.